This is actually a very sheer, very translucent type of nutty gourmand scent. It is a gourmand fragrance, undoubtedly, together with the caramel. That this is a fragrance for a red carpet event. I kid you not. I think comes from the condensed milk. It smells super expensive skin. And this is a type of fragrance that will make you turn heads. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Giselle, I review fragrances. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. And if you're one of my loyal returning subscribers, thank you so much for being here with me once again. Guys, Happy New Year. I hope you enjoy your New Year celebration. I wish you lots of health, lots of love, lots of wealth, lots of new fragrances to sniff in this 2025. And speaking of, today's video is about perfumes that I think every woman should try in 2025. So without further ado, let's dive in. So the first fragrance I have on my list today is one of the most underrated fragrances of all time. And I think it's the most underrated fragrance from Fragrance du Bois, which is Brume du Matin. So this perfume is divine. I can't understand why people don't talk about this fragrance as much as it deserves, because it truly is a gem. This is a fragrance that I have recommended to many people. All the people I know who bought this perfume are super duper happy. That's why I'm confident and I'm reviewing it again. So Brume du Matin reminds me, it's hard to describe, trust me. This fragrance is really gorgeous. It's very fresh, it's very dewy, it's very calming. It reminds me of an early morning when I wake up and I go to my backyard and I see dew on green leaves, right? When you see the tiny water droplets, that is how this fragrance smells to me. Not because it's green or earthy or herbaceous, nothing like that, but it's very dewy. If you know this fragrance, if you try this fragrance, you certainly know what I'm talking about. It's very dewy. There's no better way to describe this fragrance. Very uplifting, very invigorating, a daytime scent, very elegant. It's also very long lasting considering its category. It's really, really stunning. I barely see anyone talking about Brume du Matin. I hope Fragrance One never discontinues this fragrance. This is my second bottle and it's the large one and it already has a dent. This is a type of scent that I would wear when I don't know what to wear, because this is an easy reach. It's very easy to wear. You know you will feel polished and put together when you wear this perfume. It's not obnoxious. It's very safe. People love it. It has a very subtle sillage and it projects for about 2 hours after spraying. So it's very sheer, very translucent. And every single person who smelled this fragrance loved it. And as I was saying at the beginning, I have recommended this fragrance to many people. I reviewed it here on my channel. I also recommended this to people when they email me. They are all happy, really happy. So I highly encourage you to try it. It's a fruity, floral, woody, musky scent. Very elegant. It is pretty long lasting considering its category. It opens with mandarin and bergamot, so you can expect something pretty fizzy, pretty uplifting, pretty bright. And then it transitions into a fruity floral core where we find peach, we have plum, we have rose, also jasmine and peony. And I think peony is key here to make this fragrance completely unisex, actually feminine leaning to a possibly more masculine leaning scent. All fragrances are unisex, but of course some of them lean more feminine or masculine, right? This one I would say leans more on the feminine side. However, it's 100% unisex fragrance. It's an all year round type of scent. In summer, I notice I pick more of the fruity aspect of it, while in winter or colder weather, the fragrance becomes crispier, a little bit more crystalline, but it never loses that uplifting and bright quality. So I highly encourage you to try it. It's a beauty. Brume du Matin by Fragrance du Bois. So the second fragrance I have on my list today is Vietnamese Coffee. I don't have the bottle yet, just yet, but I'm planning on buying it. It's really, really, really gorgeous. And let me tell you something, let me share something with you. It really is delicious. This is a gourmand coffee fragrance, but not like Bianco latte. I think this is more like an adult coffee slash gourmand fragrance. It doesn't cross into the coffee shop territory, like, for example, Bianco Latte, which I love. I adore Bianco Latte, but I think Bianco Latte is way too gourmand. This is very gourmand too, but I think honestly, this is on another level. I find this one more sophisticated, and here the coffee is stronger than in Bianco Latte, which is more like tonic, right? This perfume has condensed milk, and I think this is what makes people think it has caramel. According to the website, this fragrance does not have caramel, but to me, condensed milk provides more a caramel scent rather than a lactonic aspect to fragrances. So I'm gonna start by the end, and yes, Vietnamese coffee lives up to the hype. But hype aside, I'm gonna buy the fragrance because I love it, and on top of that, I know it will remind me of my trip to Vietnam. I've been to Vietnam. Beautiful, beautiful country, gorgeous country. I cannot wait to get back. And being a coffee lover, I'm a self-proclaimed coffee addict. Trust me, nothing is strong enough for me when it comes to drinking coffee. But let me tell you, Vietnamese coffee is the strongest thing I've ever tried. Like the Italian espresso, even a double espresso, it's like a baby formula compared to Vietnamese coffee. Part of it is that, well, that's, the main characteristics. It's a very bold, very, very dark, very strong type of rose, but the way the coffees brew is what ensures that the infusion is very concentrated and has the very bold and strong aroma and also flavor, which is what this coffee is renowned for. This is Vietnamese coffee. They use what they call a thin filter. I'm not quite sure if I'm pronouncing it right. Maybe I'm butchering the name. I'm sorry. But I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it in Vietnamese, but it's PHIN. But yes, it's that type of filter that they put on top. It's like a little strainer, and it slowly drips the coffee into the cup. As you can see in this brew process, this is exactly what ensures that the infusion is bold and very, very strong. And trust me, nothing is strong enough for me when it comes to coffee. And I'm bringing this up because this is not, I mean, this is a photorealistic fragrance when it comes to coffee per se. Yes, it does smell like coffee, especially in the opening. You smell the roasted coffee. However, it's not photorealistic when it comes to comparing it to Vietnamese coffee, because as I said, Vietnamese coffee is very, very strong, very bold, and this fragrance is not like that. It's very gourmand, yes, still on an edible level, but very, very sophisticated, very elevated. And honestly, it surpassed all my expectations. It has had pretty good lasting power, at least on my skin. The gourmand notes here are dark chocolate, condensed milk, and also I'm picking a caramel note here too. But this fragrance doesn't have caramel in the formulation. It's actually coming from the condensed milk. In my opinion, condensed milk doesn't provide the lactonic aspect that many people think it does. It provides more like a caramel scent. In fact, if you cook condensed milk in the stove, you end up with dulce de leche, which is like a very creamy caramel spread. I made dulce de leche crepes over the weekend. Anyway, onto the fragrance. I truly think this perfume lives up to the hype. This is my second decant. I'm fully convinced I'm gonna buy this perfume anytime soon. So the fragrance opens with that photorealistic coffee scent, but a few minutes later it transitions into a floral core. To me, this is a musky, white floral gourmand fragrance. It's also vanillic in the dry down. It has dark chocolate. It's very fluffy, very musky, as I was saying. No bitterness whatsoever, even though the dark chocolate note, or maybe it's cacao, it's pretty prominent. I don't find this fragrance lactonic. I find it slightly creamy, and it does have a pretty present caramel accord, but I don't find it lactonic. I think it's a fragrance worth trying. It's really, really beautiful. It's not crazy expensive. I think if you enjoy gourmand fragrances, especially those with a strong coffee scent, Vietnamese coffee is a must try. So the third fragrance I have on my list today that I think every woman should try in 2025 is Soie d'Orient by Sisley. Sisley is a high-end skincare brand. They have a line of fragrances, and I have quite a few from them, and they all smell exquisite. I have reviewed Itzia, Itzia La Nuit, Eau du Soir, which is one of my all-time favorite signature scents, and this is a flanker of Eau du Soir. Now, let me tell you, many people, especially those who are just getting started into this fragrance world, especially niche perfumery, they find Eau de Soie vintage. Yes, it's a fragrance from the 90s and it does have a little bit of a vintage scent. However, it's the most elegant fragrance I've ever had in my entire collection. I wear it all the time. Every person who smelled that on me complimented me on that fragrance. I can't even tell you how many times I was asked what fragrance I was wearing, and I had to write it down for many people. Anyway, this is a flanker of Eau de Soie, but there's nothing vintage here. This is actually a pretty contemporary saffron rose incense fragrance. The incense here, it's not really prominent. It's extremely elegant. It's a nighttime scent, 100% a nighttime fragrance. Very sophisticated. It smells super expensive. Let me spray some here on my skin. This is a fragrance for a red carpet event. I kid you not. You have to try it. It's very bold, very rich, very sophisticated. Wow, very voluptuous. Really, really beautiful. What you get, especially when you first spray it in the opening, it's a lot of saffron, very, very spicy in the opening, and rose. It's stunning. It's an elixir. Seriously, if one day if I make a video about fragrances that smell expensive, I will definitely include Soie d'Orient because it does. It smells very luxurious, very expensive. This perfume, let me tell you, every time I wear it, it makes me feel like I'm red carpet ready. It's so, so elevated. It's 100% niche quality, perfect for colder weather. You can wear it all year round, but to me, this is a nighttime scent. I wore it during the summer. Of course, it's gorgeous, but during the winter is when this fragrance truly blooms. If you like strong, unapologetic fragrances, if you want to knock people's socks off, if you want to be smelled before you enter the room, and if you want to turn heads, guys, Soie d'Orient is a must try. Don't sleep on this. So guys, the next one on my list is L'Essai de la Rona number 4 by Graff. Graff is a high-end jeweler based in the UK. It's a super high-end jeweler and they have a very curated line of fragrances. I have quite a few from them and they are absolutely, absolutely exquisite. And this one, of course, is no exception. I think this is my favorite. This one is my number 1 or number 2. It's absolutely stunning. It's a very nutty perfume. But the nutty note here, it's not sticky. It's not like amaretto liquor that we tend to find pretty often in cherry fragrances, for example. But many of them, especially Lost Cherry by Tom Ford, has a very strong amaretto that has to do with the pit of the cherry, which has a similar compound as almonds. But anyway, that's completely other topic. But what I'm trying to say is that the almond here is very soft. Yes, it does have that nutty component. It's not heavy, it's not dense, it's not sticky. This is actually a very sheer, very translucent type of nutty gourmand scent. It is a gourmand fragrance, undoubtedly. It has honey and tonka, which provides sweetness, but we also have coffee. Coffee here provides depth, and I think it's responsible for balancing that otherwise possible excessive sweetness. This perfume also has lavender. However, the lavender here, I will say it has more of a supporting role rather than being the star of the show. I don't like lavender in fragrances. I only have a couple of fragrances with lavender that I truly enjoy. So I'm not a big fan of lavender in perfumery. However, again, the lavender here is very subtle to me. The only thing it provides is calmness. This fragrance is super duper calm. It's very ethereal. It has a translucent aspect to it. And it's also very calming, very relaxing. And I think that is because of the lavender. Trust me, it doesn't provide scent to a point that even if you don't like lavender in fragrances, like myself, you might still love this perfume. It's really, really, really beautiful. And conversely, if you love lavender in perfumery and you buy this fragrance thinking that this is the lavender fragrance, you're not going to find that here. Overall, it's a great, great perfume. It lasts about between 6 and 8 hours. The sillage is absolutely beautiful. It lingers in the air. It's very sheer, very translucent, and it doesn't lose that nutty component that is so addictive and intoxicating. Again, this is not your typical nutty fragrance. So if you like nutty gourmand scents or grown-up gourmands, I think this is a must try. Don't sleep on this one, guys. It's very beautiful and it's very, very unique. This perfume smells like nothing I've smelled before. I love nuts and fragrances. I love the nutty note in perfumery. And it doesn't smell like anything I have or I have ever smelled. So I highly recommend this fragrance. So the next one on my list, guys, is French Affair by 𝐋𝐿. Wow, what a gorgeous, elegant, chic fragrance. So this perfume's so nice. This perfume opens very bright, very uplifting, and very fruity. It has lychee and bergamot in the top notes, so you can expect a burst of freshness, bright, juicy, and dewy / watery type of opening. After a few minutes, the fragrance transitions into something more woody, mossy. It is a very dewy fragrance. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's extremely, extremely elegant and sophisticated. You can wear this perfume all year round, day or night. It also has patchouli in the base, but the patchouli here is barely noticeable. It's not a dirty patchouli. I would say it's more like a clean patchouli. I always say it in quotation marks because there's no such thing as a clean patchouli, right? Because of its nature, patchouli will never be clean, but it's a way to describe the patchouli note here so that you can understand what I'm trying to say. Even if you don't like patchouli, you might still love this perfume. It's really, really gorgeous. It's a pretty clean fragrance, very fruity. Usually fruity fragrances are not so elegant. They are beautiful, but not necessarily chic and sophisticated and elegant. This one is. It's one of the most elegant perfumes I have in my entire collection. It smells very Parisian chic. When I smell this fragrance, what comes to my mind, it's a very elegant woman wearing a perfect suit or a trench coat with a silk scarf. Very, very beautiful, very elegant. It's very long lasting. I get around 10 hours on my skin. And one thing I have to tell you, this perfume gives 100% boss lady vibes. I highly encourage you to try it. French Affair by 𝐋𝐿. The next fragrance I have on my list today is Ex Vetiver by Juliette Hasagan. I received this fragrance in PR and I couldn't be happier. It's absolutely beautiful. And guys, if you think that vetiver is just for cologne, I'm here to tell you that's not true. In fact, there are many feminine fragrances that have vetiver. It all depends on the whole composition, right? I always say this, you can't isolate notes, because if you purchase fragrances based on notes alone without taking into consideration the whole formulation, highly likely you will be disappointed. So this is one of those cases. I know that many women don't like vetiver. Personally, I love it. It's a note that I grew to love. You don't have to. We don't like the same things. But here, trust me, it smells absolutely divine. It's pretty citrusy, woody, very fresh, very green, also very invigorating. Like, this is a happy fragrance to me. Every time I smell it, I feel happy. It has that power of me. It's super beautiful. Honestly, even though this is a vetiver fragrance and it's 100% unisex, I would say it leans more feminine than masculine. And I absolutely love it. It smells expansive. It's very easy to wear. It's a linear fragrance. It's an easy reach, and it's a type of scent that you will never get tired of wearing. If you like it, of course. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But if you like it, if you happen to like this perfume, it's a type of scent you will never get tired of. It's citrusy, woody. It's very fresh. It has 3 types of vetiver. Vetiver from Haiti, from Indonesia, and from India. It's really gorgeous. I just received it and I already put a dent on it. And I can see myself wearing this all summer long next year. And this is a fragrance for all year round. It reminds me a lot of Original Vetiver by Creed and also Vetiver Parfum Cologne by Roja. These 3, to me, are the most beautiful vetiver fragrances on the market. And also very neutral, very unisex. In fact, this one in particular, to me, it's pretty feminine leaning. If you like fresh fragrances, if you like to feel chic and put together with an easy reach type of scent, this one is a must try. Ex Vetiver by Juliette Hasagan. Next one on my list is Cargo de Nuit by Prada Olfactories. Prada Olfactories is the private blend or private line of Prada. All their fragrances in this line are really beautiful and very unique, but Cargo de Nuit is my number one. It's a very contemporary and modern musky scent. It's slightly mineral, slightly aldehydic, but the aldehydes here are anything but vintage. And I bring this up because many people have a thing with vintage fragrances, and the moment you say aldehydes, they run. Aldehydes, yes, can have that vintage scent, but they also can be very soapy, very fizzy, very bubbly. In this case, it's, I would say, slightly soapy, but there's nothing vintage here. Conversely, this is a very contemporary type of fragrance. It's absolutely beautiful. It's been sold out for over a year, both here and in Europe. And when I finally got it, I was on cloud nine. I absolutely love this perfume. It's slightly mineral as well. It has some ambroxan. This perfume reminds me a little bit of Not a Perfume by Juliette Hassagan. I think this one smells way more elevated, smells more expensive, and it is more expensive. But yeah, I think this one is more sophisticated than Not a Perfume. However, 𝐾𝐀 𝐑𝐈 behaves in a similar way in that it seems to be more like a molecular type of scent. I never saw that advertised or promoting this fragrance as a molecular fragrance, but in my experience, that's what happens every time I wear it. After a few minutes, I can't smell it on me. I don't think it has to do with being nose blind because there are other fragrances that I wear that I can smell them on me. Not a Perfume is one of those fragrances that I can't smell it on me, and I've had the same experience with this one. However, people around me always compliment me on this perfume. It's very mass appealing, it's very inviting, it's cozy, and surprisingly, sometimes I get whiffs of it, and when I get to smell this perfume is basically in the dry down when it smells more woody than musky. And I think that has to do with ambroxan, because ambroxan, which is a synthetic note that it's in the base, ambroxan has a very subtle woody scent, which also helps with longevity. It's a very long lasting fragrance. If you smell it, it's soft and you will never expect it to last that long, but it is very long lasting. And hours later, like 8-9 hours later after applying, I get compliments when I wear 𝐾𝐀 𝐑𝐈. Very beautiful perfume. It's very clean, slightly mineral. It's very elegant, very sophisticated as well. I would describe this fragrance as less is more, or quiet luxury. It's very ethereal, very translucent, almost cloudy, fluffy. I usually wear 𝐾𝐀 𝐑𝐈 on its own, but this is a great fragrance to layer with white florals or woody, musky scents. No yellow florals, because that would be a mess, a clash of notes. But with white florals, it will smell divine. If you decide to combine it with woody fragrances, I think cedar, it's the best. I don't think that sandalwood is way too creamy. This fragrance is clean, it's slightly mineral. I don't think that mixing this with sandalwood would be a great combo. However, with cedar, it will be a match made in heaven. And when I do layer this perfume, I usually do that with Kayali Musk or with Eccentric O2 by Eccentric Molecules. Now, let me tell you something. All the fragrances from this line, from the Prada Olfactory line, which is their private blend, as I was saying at the beginning, take forever to restock. I had to wait over a year for this one. And I want to bring that to your attention because in case you want 𝐾𝐀 𝐑𝐈, which is one of the hardest to find, I highly encourage you to buy it right now while it's still in stock, because after it's gone, I don't know how long it will take until they restock it, if they decide to restock. All the fragrances from this line take forever to restock, so in case you're interested, I wanted to share my experience with you. It is available on selfridges.com, and not only is it available, but it's on sale. So I made sure to link it down below in my description box in case you're interested in this perfume. It's really beautiful. The next fragrance I have on my list today is Black Phantom by Kilian. Guys, this perfume, I don't even know how to describe it. It's so gorgeous. I feel like no matter what I say, I will never do justice to this fragrance. It's a boozy, coffee-forward perfume. However, it does have quite a few gourmand notes that makes this fragrance absolutely addictive. It has sugar, it has caramel, it has coffee, as I said, it has almond, it has heliotrope. Heliotrope is actually a flower, but it has a very subtle almondy scent, which provides a little bit of femininity to an otherwise very masculine scent. So I think the heliotrope has a really important role here, because as I said, it's what makes this fragrance more unisex. I absolutely love it. Kilian is one of my favorite houses. I have tons of fragrances from this house, but Black Phantom is my most complimented fragrance, together with Intoxicated. So the caramel here, of course, provides sweetness, but it also provides a little bit of a gooiness and a milky aspect, slightly lactonic. It's very slightly lactonic. It's not something like in your face, but yeah, it does have a lactonic aspect to it that it's kind of lingering in the background. It's absolutely beautiful. It also has sandalwood, which provides a lot of creaminess. Such a blend. This is such a blend, you guys. You have to try it. It's a very complex fragrance. It has many facets, and I would be lying to you if I tell you that I like one facet more than the other. I love the opening, I love the transition into the middle notes, and I absolutely, absolutely love the dry down, which I think it's my favorite, but I actually love all the phases this fragrance transitions into. Absolutely gorgeous. I think Black Phantom is a masterpiece. It's deep, it's dark, it's very sensual, it's very alluring. It smells super expensive. It's worth every single penny. If we have similar taste, if you like this type of scents, you'll probably agree in that it's worth every penny. To me, this is a keeper for life. It lasts 10 to 12 hours on my skin. It's a great fragrance to wear on its own because it's bold enough. Trust me, it doesn't need to be layered with anything. But if you want to layer it, I recommend that you layer this fragrance with fruity perfumes. I like to layer this every now and then with Forbidden Games, also by Kilian. Forbidden Games has a peachy type of scent. It doesn't have peach in the composition, but it does have osmanthus, which is a note that has that apricot-y, peachy type of scent that combines beautifully with Black Phantom. The other fragrance I like to layer it with is with 𝐼𝑕. I talked about 𝐼𝑕 in previous videos. I absolutely love that fragrance. It used to be champagne back in the 90s, but due to trademark legalities, they had to rename the fragrance. They relaunched it as 𝐼𝑕, and it's a fragrance from the 90s, but it's very fruity, has lychee, has nectarine, and it's super duper dreamy. And I also love to layer Black Phantom with that one. So if you like boozy and coffee forward fragrances with gourmand notes like sugar, cacao, cognac, caramel, almond, then Black Phantom is a fragrance you must try. Next fragrance every woman should try in 2025, if you haven't yet, Spiro Fiorentino by Tiziana Terenzi. The bottle is so stunning. I love their bottles. This one is so gorgeous, so elegant, so good. This is a floral, musky, woody, leathery fragrance. It's one of the most elegant perfumes I have in my collection. I know I have said that several times in this video, but it's true. I love elegant fragrances. This one, guys, smells like a super expensive Italian Napa leather jacket. It's that good. It's very creamy, but it's also very leathery. It smells so sophisticated. To me, this is a typical winter fragrance. However, there are no rules. You know how it is. You just wear whatever you want, whatever brings joy to your life. But in my opinion, this is 100% a nighttime fragrance and also a winter or cold weather type of scent. One thing I want to bring up is that Spiro Fiorentino has absolutely nothing to do with Baccarat Rouge 540. I can't even understand how people find it similar. Yes, we all have different perceptions. I get that. But it's like, you know, when you eat pizza, we all know we are eating pizza, right? We don't think we are eating chocolate ice cream. If you eat pizza and I eat pizza, we will both agree that we are eating pizza, even if we are blindfold, right? The same way, you will always be able to identify certain flavors. You'll also be able to identify certain type of scent. And seriously, the comparison with Baccarat Rouge 540, well, anyway, it's mind-boggling. I can't understand. And I'm bringing that up because I don't want you to be misled thinking that maybe I'm going to buy this because it's cheaper than Baccarat Rouge 540 and I will have something similar. No, they couldn't be more different. And I don't want you to end up in a huge disappointment because these fragrances could not be more different. Now, they do have similar vibes. And I think that's where the confusion comes from. I think some people confuse similar vibes with similar scent. Scent-wise, they are completely different. Now, they do have similar vibes. They both smell luxurious. They both are typical nighttime scents. At least to me, when I wear Baccarat, I always wear it during the night. And yes, just like Baccarat, this one also has the power to make you feel special, to make you feel you're smelling rich and luxurious and empowered and everything that Baccarat provides. I think Spiro Fiorentino can do that too. But they are different scents, so don't confuse similar vibes with similar scents, right? Aside from all that, it's a stunning fragrance. Yes, it costs less than Baccarat Rouge 540, but that's not the point here. As I was saying, it's extremely elegant, a nighttime fragrance, perfect perfume for this time of the year. The colder the weather, the better. It's a unisex scent. I think it leans more feminine, but it's definitely a unisex scent, very long lasting. And this is a type of fragrance that will make you turn heads. So if you haven't yet, Spiro Fiorentino, it's a must try. And the last one for today is X by Trish McEvoy. I don't know why Trish McEvoy fragrances are rarely talked about or reviewed. They are absolutely gorgeous. I think X is together with Black Rose Oud. If I'm not mistaken, that's the name. I have the fragrance. Shame on me. I don't remember the name. I think it's Black Rose Oud. But those two are, in my opinion, are the most stunning fragrances they have. Now, X, this is so good. X is a very sexy amber fragrance. We also have saffron here together with rose, benzoin, myrrh, sandalwood. It's a very creamy perfume, very, very sexy, also for nighttime, perfect for cold weather. You can actually wear this all year round, but I think it's perfect for winter nights, date nights, night outs, but especially for date nights. It's so, so sexy, guys. It's so sexy. I think the color, they couldn't have chosen a better color because the color of the bottle truly represents the scent. It's a very, very sensual fragrance, undoubtedly. Perfect for day nights, as I was saying. Spicy in the opening, but it's very creamy, very balsamic. It's a really loud type of scent. It's like, I'm here, look at me type of perfume. However, once it dries down, it becomes more like a skin scent. It becomes more intimate. It's very comforting, very cozy. After the opening and the transition, the fragrance becomes a completely different thing, yet never losing that sexiness and that alluring component. My husband loves this fragrance on me. It lasts about 8 to 10 hours. It's pretty long lasting. However, as I said, at the beginning it's loud, but then you will end up with a skin scent. But yeah, it's still very long lasting. It's really, really gorgeous, and I highly encourage you to try it. If you like sexy, bold, deep, sensual fragrances, I dare to say this would be a pretty safe blind buy. And mind you, I never encourage people to blind buy fragrances. However, I'm well aware that people do that all the time, regardless. So if you're one of those blind buyers and you don't care and you just do your thing and you've been successful blind buying perfumes, again, if you like this type of deep, sexy, alluring, ambery fragrances with saffron, rose, all super sexy notes, if you like that type of scents, I think this one would be a safe one. X by Trish McEvoy. Guys, this is it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed my video about the 10 fragrances every woman should try in 2025. By the way, what was your New Year's Eve scent? I'm really curious to know about what you wore on New Year's Eve. Please stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.